Hello, this is Queer Talk 101. This is Joshua, and it's Sunday, and today's subject is fears of being bullied, rejected when you come out, basically any fears that you could have as a homosexual. Now, when it comes to being bullied, I never had that fear. I never got to really even experience that fear pretty much because I was bullied already long before I even realized I was gay. Long before I even really give any indication to myself that I was gay. I've always acted somewhat flamboyant and feminine, whatever your word that you choose to use to describe it. I've always acted that way, even as a little boy. Now, not saying that I'm just a big old girl practically, but I've always acted somewhat less masculine than others. So I was always being teased, being called you're gay or queer, you're a faggot, just go ahead and kill yourself, faggot. You're worthless because you're gay, if you're just a faggot. So I never really had that fear because I was already living it. Now the way to deal with bullying is you don't give in. If you act feminine or if you're fat, if you're short, tall, don't try to manipulate that because guess what? It doesn't work. If they're bullying you about one thing, they're going to bully you about another thing. So don't even try to give in to that. Don't try to change who you are for them because that just gives them even more power. And don't try to fight fire with fire. Don't try to bully them back out of hopes that they'll retreat. It doesn't work. It actually fuels them. It makes them even stronger. It makes them see that you have been brought down to their level and how small that they feel. So it just encourages them to keep going on so that way you can even feel less of a person that they are. So basically, the only way to deal with bullying is, unless you can report it, which is one option, if you're in a school or anything like that, you can report bullying and have the proper authorities deal with it. And you can also just continue to be who you are. Don't pay them any mind. People are always going to hate on you no matter what. But it's from them that makes you stronger. You will learn how to deal with it. You will learn how to just not pay it any mind and realize you are who you are. As long as you love yourself, what anybody says cannot hurt you. And when it comes to the fear of actually being rejected from when you come out, that's a fear that never fully goes away. The only way to get over it is to face it. And the way to make it easier to face it is be sure you accept yourself first. Don't try to come out so that way you can accept yourself. It does not work. You have to accept yourself first. Because if you don't, if they reject you, it is going to be a devastating blow to you. And yes, of course, if they reject you, then your relationship with them was not true. But that still is not going to ease the pain of being rejected. And if they accept you, and you have to accept yourself, it's still not going to change your inner feelings about yourself. You'll end up feeling like, okay, this person accepts me, so why can't I accept myself? It doesn't work if you haven't already accepted yourself. So basically, the way of getting over the fear of coming out is to accept yourself. And after that, if you still have fear, you just gotta come out. You have to face it head on. It does get easier when you constantly come out because once you change schools, change jobs, change living environments, you move from one state to another, meet new friends, eventually you're going to have to end up coming out to them. It's a continuous process and it gets easier and less fearful the more you do it. Because right now, it's not like really even a big fear of me. I don't go up to people being like, "Hello, I'm Josh and I'm a homosexual," but I do come out fairly quickly to somebody because it's just no longer that much of a fear to me. I've already accepted myself and established my life as a homosexual, so nothing that their rejection it really isn't going to hurt me. Now, there is one fear that I see hasn't been really talked about, and that was a big thing with me was the fear of actually being a homosexual. When I was growing up, I was taught that being the homosexual is kind of like the worst thing you could possibly be. So I had that fear of like, oh, homosexuals don't, have long lasting relationships. They don't live long lives. You get AIDS. All those fears, I had them. Just I feared like if I was gay and that's all I'm going to have is just sex and I'm going to get sick and I'm going to die young. The only way I conquered that fear is I pretty much educated myself. I interacted with other homosexuals and I realized, hey, there's nothing wrong with being gay. You know, and the fact is, all those false beliefs are just that. They're false beliefs. Gays can live just as old as a heterosexual person can live. And the fact is, just because you're gay doesn't mean you're going to get AIDS. I don't have AIDS. Most homosexuals in their entire life won't have AIDS. The fact is, right now, the most likely person to get AIDS, or the one that has the highest chance right now, is heterosexual women. So we're not the ones that are going to get AIDS. No. Well, I should say, really, we're not the highest chance anymore. It used to be believed that way, but that has been an old, disproven belief. And the fact is, being gay doesn't mean you're going to have a meaningful relationship. I've been in one for 5 years, and I love it. I've known some that has been in relationships for over 20 years. Never even thought about being single. You're not just going to live a lonely life of meaningless sex. Once you realize that you can have a happy, productive life and still build a family as a homosexual, you're not going to have that fear of being gay anymore. But anyway, this is just my take on certain fears and how to get over them when it comes to being a homosexual. I hope you liked it, and I hope I wasn't that boring. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and ask questions. We want to know what issues that y'all are having trouble with, and we can be able to help with them. I'm pretty sure any issue that you have, either I or somebody else on this channel has deal with, and we can talk you through it and help you out. So leave your questions below, please. All right. Thank you.